morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style, and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today's video, we are going to talk about 5 sneaky culprits or things that you don't think about that combat or contribute to hair breakage. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first sneaky culprit, something you might not think about, is going to be your water source that comes into your home. So number 1 is going to be hard water. The reason why hard water can contribute or can be, as people would say, devastating or catastrophic to natural hair, just hair in general, is because when you have the hard water, there are minerals in that water. And when you wash your hair with that water, those minerals and the ingredients in the water, it can actually place a coating on your hair, which can leave it impossible for like moisture or for conditioners or for moisturizing products to actually penetrate their hair shaft. And we all know that dryness leads to breakage, right? So the first one is going to be hard water. They do have there are three solutions. The first one, of course, is going to be to buy a water filter. The second one is going to be using a clarifying shampoo. Just remember that when you use the clarifying shampoo, it can be very drying because it is stripping the essential oils and the dirt as well. Just make sure that you are going to use a moisturizing conditioner or some type of product that will put the moisture back into your hair. And then the third thing is that you can always do an apple cider vinegar rinse. So you're going to do 2 parts water, 1 part apple cider vinegar, and you will just rinse your hair, okay? The next one, which number 2, which I have talked about, and most people might not realize that they do this, but do not, style your hair, do your hair, brush your hair, wash your hair when you are stressed or when you are mad. First, calm down and then do your hair. And like I said, I have mentioned this before and you might not realize it, but just think about just any time or any environment that you have been upset or someone that you have been upset at, right? You might be yelling, you might be grimacing, your voice might go down an octave, it might go up an octave. You're not in a very balanced, or you're not in a very calm state. So just think about the last time that you were mad and maybe you had an argument with your significant other. You probably were raising your voice a little bit. Maybe you kind of stormed off. Maybe you got a little aggressive, what have you. You were not in like a state of calm, or you were not in a state of balance, right? Just imagine if you were upset or if you were stressed out and you were doing your hair. You might not realize it or you might not notice it, but you're going to be taking that stress out on your hair, whether it be combing it very aggressively, whether it be braiding it or twisting it very aggressively, whether it be parting it very aggressively. Calm down first and then do your hair, okay? The third one is going to be headbands. Not so much the use of them, but it's going to be more so the placement, how you're using them, and the fabric of them. So you guys know that I do not use ponytail holders. They pull your hair, they break your hair. That's not really a sneaky culprit. That's just kind of a known thing. The tighter you pull your hair, the more breakage you are going to see, right? Especially at your hairline. What I'm talking about is like those headbands from is it Scoony or Scoonchy that you buy from Target, that you buy from Walmart. They come in like all of these rainbow colors and they're kind of like that cotton jersey knit. And what I'm talking about, and I will probably just kind of give you an example sitting right here. But what I'm talking about is when I say placement or how you're using them, there's nothing wrong with you using them, but watch how you are actually putting them on. If you think about it, let's say for 1 week, you do that every single day. Let's say you take the headband and you slide, you put it right here, and then you are just continuously sliding it up, sliding it up, sliding it up. You may start to realize, or you may start to notice that the hair, especially your hairline and some of the hair right here, you may start to realize that it starts breaking off. And the reason for that is the friction. Not only the friction, but when you're doing that, it is the friction, but it's also drying that part of your hair out. So I'm not saying that you can't use them, because you guys know that I use headbands and I do use hair ornaments as well. What I'm saying is just watch the way that you are placing it or how you are putting it on your head, especially those really stretchy ones, just the average, they come in a 5-pack. They have black, brown, purple, yellow, orange. just watch where you're placing them and how long you actually have them sitting right there, because you will start to notice, you start to see breakage, or you start to see your hairline receding. So when you're doing that, make sure, if it's just like a regular headband, just make sure instead of like putting it here and then just kind of like pushing it up like you see people do, just place it on your head. Or if you're going to use the ones that are like infinity, like it's a full circle, just make sure that when you place it back here, kind of stretch it a little bit, pull it up over, and then place it. The fourth sneaky culprit is going to be towel drying, and it's more or so the type of towel that you are using. That towel that you use to, I guess you could say, dry off your body, the friction and how much it is going to dry and break your hair out. And I never really thought about it before until I started hearing people talk about it, just how drying it can be and how much friction it is, okay? So it's not necessarily how you're drying your hair, but it's what you're drying your hair with. That towel that you're using to dry off your body, don't use that to dry off your hair, okay? What I would suggest to you, number one, is you can use a microfiber towel, or what I have actually started doing is the actual t-shirt that I am going to wear to do my hair is what I kind of like use to wring my hair out. So don't use like the towel that you're using to dry your body. Use a microfiber towel, but even better, what I would suggest to you is to use a t-shirt, okay? And do more so of like a pat and a ring. Don't like take your hair with even the microfiber towel, especially the body towel, and just start rubbing your hair like this. Do it more so as a ring, and even better than that is going to be a patting motion. And then the last and fifth sneaky culprit, and this is something that I have been incorporating, or this is something that I have actually been thinking about, and it has been popping up on my feed because I never really thought about it for myself. Let's talk about same style habits, or let's talk about parting. You guys know that I use these same exact parts to wash my hair, detangle, and then set my hair in my mini twist, or right now in my jumbo stretch twist. But not necessarily for me, but I started having videos pop up on my feed talking about, maybe ever so often, make sure that you are not using these same parts. That can be because of the manipulation and because you are using that exact same part, which means you are pulling and tugging your hair the exact same way, the exact same time. Make sure that you are changing up your parts. Let's say for 2 weeks you have a part right here once you wash your hair and you've set your hair. Next week, try maybe a part right here. 2 weeks for that, and then another 2 weeks, maybe you want to go right down the middle. Let's say you don't really like down the middle parts. Let's say you really do like your side parts. Just do it in different places. Don't necessarily keep the same parts. Manipulation. If you were consistently manipulating this right here, so let's say you have the part here and you have the part here, right? If you were consistently pulling your hair like this, like that, or like that, in that same area, you then wash your hair and then you do the exact same thing. That patch of hair right there, where you see that part is not more than likely, but you might start to see like some thinning or some breaking. Just make sure that when you are doing your styling, just make sure that you are changing up where you are putting your parts, how you are placing your hair. It's kind of the exact same thing you will see a lot of natural women, or you will see a lot of women part their hair in 4 areas. Right here and right here, which will give them 4 quadrants. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, right? It's simple, it's easy, but the next time that you are doing a parting style, or the next time you are doing your hair, just think about the placement of your parts. And that's actually what made me change my parting. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when I first started my YouTube channel, my part was right here. This was like a side part. It was permanent. I wouldn't change it. I washed my hair like that. I styled it like that. My mini twists were like that. And then I started reading and things started popping up on my feed. And just simply the tension of me having my hair from right here down, and then having this hair folded over here with the brushing and the combing and the flat ironing and all of that, the tension, I needed to change it up. So like I said, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this part is no longer. I now have a middle part, and then maybe like in a couple of months, I might just switch it up like right here. So I have changed these parts because you guys know that when it comes to styling, washing, and setting my hair for it to dry, it's the same parts. But now I have actually started to change my parts. Just kind of like if a part was like right here, I might just kind of like slide it over to right here. Just you know, it doesn't have to be huge. Or like, let's say I might have 2 parts, or let's say I might have 2 parts. So I have one section, which is 3 sections. The next time I might just have 2 sections, just might have 1 section down the middle. Okay. So those are all of these sneaky culprits, short and sweet, but I just kind of wanted to get those out there. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I just want to remind you that here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, you know, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.